Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy. Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy. Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy. Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy. Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy. Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy.
And he scores!
Tag.
Wait, is that the Adon?
I think so, inshallah.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Gotta pray.
yeah, we do
Alright,
gotta pray.
alright.
We gotta pray. Let's get that in
Yes, sir.
ASAP.
Ha ha!
I don't know
Allahu
what it is,
Akbar!
but what? You know, I've been listening to this program,
Yeah.
Sunnah Followers, and I've been learning a lot, Aki. Man, a lot.
Mashallah. Yeah, like what? What you been learning about?
Man, I've been learning about a lot. Salah, hadith, the life of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man, wow, for real though. And you know another thing? The shows just keep coming on back to back. Alhamdulillah. I just gotta check them out. For real though, wow. My God, if you have any questions, check this out. Every Friday, you can call in Sister Layla Live. Call her with any one of your questions in regards to this deen. And man, she will answer them. She will get you right. Anyway, inshallah, I'm about to tune into that. But you know something else? If this is going to be a benefit to me, I got to get with that Sadaqah Jariyah. All right. Donate to SunnahFollowers.net. We're here for you. Sadaqah Jariyah. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Growing your deen and learning about the beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the day of judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the SunnahFollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment. He was known as the Sword of Allah, one of the greatest generals in history, one of Islam's greatest heroes. His name, Khalid ibn al-Walid. Sunnah Followers presents a new series presented by Ustad Mukhtar Shahid. Coming soon, so stay tuned. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah Followers. Sunnah Followers presents a new upcoming class. Stay tuned. Sacred Bonds by Daryl Abdullah Kirk. Yes, Sacred Bonds, navigating the depths of Muslim matrimony and the family. You don't want to miss this one. Please stay tuned. Streaming on all major platforms right here on SunnahFollowers.net. Oh yeah, and don't forget to join us in the 24-hour Zoom room for behind-the-scenes access.
Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. First of all, I want to let everybody know, normally this is the class that Dr. Ibrahim Dramali teaches, but Dramali's away at a conference, an Islamic conference. So I'm going to be substituting today with my class on the sacred bonds of marriage. This class is based on the book written by one of my students, Brother Daryl Abdullah Kirk. Let me put the book here, Sacred Bonds. You can get it at Amazon. Daryl. I don't know how to spell Daryl. It don't matter. Abdullah Kirk. You'll figure it. And you can get it at Amazon. It's this book is only $13. It's not that expensive. So you want to head over to Amazon and get a copy of this book. This is a book that I highly recommend that every Muslim who is thinking about marriage, before you even get married, you need to get a hold of this book and read it. Because before we embark upon an action as Muslims, we need to educate ourselves of that action and know how to do it correctly. A lot of us have invalid marriages. Why? Because we were not married by the laws of Islam, meaning the conditions. You know, in order for a marriage to be valid, there has to be a guardian, a Muslim wali for the woman. Also, there has to be a dowry, and we talked about both of those. Also, there should be an announcement. The wedding should be announced. That doesn't mean that he has to go and announce it to his other wives. And don't get it twisted, because I got a lot of the polygamy sisters here. And in fact, one of you just sent me a message, and I answer this question all the time. You know, your husband does not have to go and share knowledge with his other wives that he married you. Why do you want him to even do that? Do you know what a fitan that is? The jealousy of women, you know? As long as the wedding has been announced to somewhere, okay, either at the mosque or your relatives and his friends or whatnot. No, that's all that matters. That's not a secret marriage. We don't understand what a secret marriage is. Like I told you guys before, a secret marriage is when you marry and it's not announced to anyone. No one knows. That's haram. That's deception. Okay, but if you sisters think that he's supposed to flaunt you around his other wives and all that, you're crazy. What woman would even want that? Girl, you asking for a lot of trouble, honey. It's good and clean. Polygamy's good and clean. As long as you abide by the rules of Allah with it. You know, women. Do you think you better than the prophet's wives? You know all the drama that Aisha and Hafsa kept going? Radiallahu anha to them both. Why would you want to put yourself in a situation like that? Girl, you better sit on down somewhere. Get real. Okay? So the marriage has to be announced. We discussed that. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to cover pages 85 through 90. I think I'll put the PowerPoint up in a minute. We're going to speak about the role of the man. We talked about the rights of the role of the woman, because not only should you know what constitutes a valid marriage in Islam, but you need to know your role as a wife, your role as a man. And as we talked about all the last week when we met, the woman, your home is your domain. In Islam, women are not the providers. Women are not the protectors. Women are not the maintainers. In Islam, a woman does not have to work. No man can make you go out and get a job. Nobody can make you go out and get a job. In Islam, it's the responsibility of the male relatives to take care of you. For you young girls, you stay home with your parents until you get married. This is a big problem here, especially living in the West. Muslim girls want to be like the Kafir girls. You want to travel. You want to party. You want to move out and get your own apartment. That's not Islam. In Islam, you stay home because your father is responsible for you until you get married. And then when you get married, then you become the responsibility of your husband. So getting your own apartment and all of that stuff, that's not a part of Islam. That's not our way of life. That's not our culture. And that's what we're going to speak about today, how the lines become blurred when it comes to culture. We mix a lot of cultural crap into our way of life. Remember, as Muslims, part of that shahada is wala wal bara. We're supposed to distance ourselves from those ideologies and those things and issues that contradict Islam. We're not supposed to blend in and become like the Kafir. We're supposed to be distinct and keep our Muslim identity. So you Muslim girls should be, if you're not married, you should be living at home with your parents until you get married. I'm talking to the young girls. Now, a woman like me, it's different. I've been married and divorced several times. I'm an independent, self-sufficient woman. If a woman works when she has no choice, I didn't have no father, no brothers, no uncles to take care of me. Okay, I had to provide for myself. So I had to go out and get a job, and I was single for 30 years. Oh yeah, 30 years. Okay, I'm retired now. Alhamdulillah. So I done paid my dues. I get a nice retirement check. I can sit on my hocks and do lectures like this now without having to worry about, is it time for me to go to work? And sneaking on the job doing it like I used to for 36 years. Okay? And never got in trouble, alhamdulillah. But so that's different. But for you young girls, you're not supposed to go out and get your own apartment and travel the world. This crazy stuff that you young girls are doing today, it's ridiculous. That's not Islam. You can't blend and blur the lines. You have to make a choice. Either you're going to be a Muslim or you're not. If you're going to be a Muslim, you have to act like one. As we've been discussing in our 6 o'clock class, whatever is in your heart is going to emanate through your actions. If you truly are a good Muslim girl, you wouldn't be living on your own. You wouldn't be traveling all over the world like Kafir women do. You'd be at home with your parents until you get married. Everybody got that. And then when a girl gets married, as we talked about, she sets the dowry with her guardian. And that dowry doesn't go to the guardian, it goes to you. We don't sell our daughters into marriage like a lot of your culture is doing. A lot of you sisters from Africa, your parents are selling you. They're selling you, and this is haram. That's culture. We have to learn how to separate culture from religion. So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen, because that's what our theme is today. How culture stands between the practice of Islam if you are not strong. How culture will cause you to deviate away from your Muslim identity, even in regards to marriage. So we have to learn as Muslim women and Muslim men to embrace our Islamic principles, to embrace our Islamic laws over the cultural norms. You shouldn't concern yourself with what the Kafir girls are doing. You should be trying to maintain what the female companions did. Your homes are better for you if you only knew. So let's take a look at this. Okay. The last time we met, we spoke about the rights of the woman. The woman is supposed to be at home. It's your job to take care of the house and whatever's in there, all the property and the children. It's your job as a Muslim woman to cook. This is another innovation. You got a lot of Muslims telling you that the man is supposed to cook. Who said that? That ain't what Allah said. That ain't what the Prophet said either. That's your job to cook the food as a woman. Your job to clean the house as a woman. Your job to make sure all the bills get paid, the servants get paid, and all of that. That ain't the husband's job. I don't care what these compassionate, progressive imams are telling y'all. It's garbage. Okay? And it's the man's job to take care of everything outside of the house. But again, culture, the Western culture, the American culture stands between that and your obligations to Allah. How often have we encountered people who praise their culture? Okay? How many of us have noticed how some cultural exchanges contradict Islamic teachings, like that dowry? A lot of my sisters here from Somalia, a lot of my sisters here from Nigeria, from the Congo, from Guinea, you know, they'll tell you how their families charge all this dowry and it goes to her father and her uncles. They're basically selling their daughters. This is haram. This is not Islam. We have to learn to separate culture from this religion. So these are some of the challenges that we are faced with today as a nation. Our Islamic values are not prioritized. And whenever we deviate away from the Islamic values that Allah set in store for us, it always leads to chaos. Chaos. And this is why we have a high divorce rate. Just as we Muslims are imitating the Western people, you know, we've taken on their problems too, because that's what happens with imitation. Imitation brings about assimilation, and assimilation brings about the same problems that they have. You know, children raised without both parents, marriages that are failed and end up in divorce, broken homes. So again, Islam is not just a religion, but it's a way of life, and it gives great guidance on all aspects of life, including marriage. But again, we have to follow the laws and commands of Allah and put them over culture. Okay? Whenever cultural practices conflict with our values and jeopardize the harmony that the home is supposed to maintain, it leads to oppression. This is why we have so many women who are beaten. Just last week, a Muslim man tried to hire a hitman to kill his wife and his children because his wife was divorcing him. Okay? We're having these type of issues. Women being abused, women being forced to work while the men sit up at home. So Islam advocates the equality and fairness in marital relationships. That's why Allah has told men what their rights are, and women have their rights too. And all the rights that each gender have complement each other. In fact, Dr. Dramali, in his class, he's been teaching us the mutual rights and responsibilities of the spouses. 2 weeks ago, he went over the verses in Surah Baqarah. We talked about the science of connectivity. Using the science of connectivity, Dr. Dramali started with Surah Nisa, then he went to Baqarah, then he went to At-Tahrim, and then he went to Nur, establishing the mutual rights and responsibilities of both spouses. And those verses in Baqarah emphasize the mutual respect that we're supposed to share and have for each other. And we're going to talk more about that in this book. So before a woman and man get married, this is why it's important to have a good guardian, because the wali is going to sit down with both of you and he should go over what your rights are, what your responsibilities are. And that way you can evaluate marriage. And you can look and see that our Islamic beliefs are totally different than the non-Muslim or cultural customs. And we have to make those Muslim values supersede the cultural crap. And again, a lot of marriages. I get a lot of you women. In fact, one of the sisters that was sent to me today, one of her questions that she texted me is about this. And this question came up Friday too in my Q&A. Can my guardian refuse a man from marrying me because we're of a different culture? The answer is yes. Do you know how many marriages end up in divorce because of different cultures? The influence of culture can lead to challenges within the home, within the house. Cultural norms may also require you to seek a husband or seek a wife in a manner that contradicts the guidance of Islam. For example, look how many of you women are finding husbands on dating apps. This is haram. We don't use dating apps in Islam. In Islam, it's not even the woman's job to go around looking for a husband. That's the job of the men in the family. In Islam, if a woman wants to get married, you simply tell your guardians and the men in the family, your brothers, your uncles, your grandfather, your male cousins, they're the ones that go out and look for you a husband. We don't use dating apps. We don't go to no masjid singles night. Oh yeah, some of the masjids here in America have a singles night. Can y'all believe that? This is, again, adopting the ways of the kafir. So cultural practices, can cause us to seek husbands and seek wives in manners that contradict Islam, and the marriages end up doomed from the beginning, and we don't even see it. Again, everything we do in Islam, how we use the bathroom, how we eat, how we sleep, and how we get married, there's guidance in that, and we should follow that and choose Allah's guidance over cultural crap. Okay? Again, if something contradicts our Islamic culture, we stay away from it. I'm not going to join no dating app. I'm not going to go to some masjid singles night. I'm not going to do that chain dating, fast, what they call it, fast datings crap, where they used to go from table to table talking to men. This is haram. And that's, again, one of the number one reasons why a lot of our marriages end up in disaster. Okay, so yes, your guardian can refuse a marriage because of culture, because that's a big problem. Okay, uptown girl and a downtown man. Why is it that Zainab, may Allah be pleased with her, she was one of the best women, and Zayd was one of the best men? Both of these were two great companions. Both of them will be in paradise, but they were married together and they hated each other. They couldn't stand each other. The marriage only lasted a year. Why? Because she was an uptown girl and he was a downtown man. Okay? She came from a culture of nobility and wealth. He was an ex-slave. That's a big problem. That's challenging. You want to choose a man and a woman that's on your level. So in this chapter, we're going to go into detail about cultural problems that many of us face as Muslims. And I'm going to give another example. For those of us living in America, in American culture, your first cousin is like a brother to you or like a sister to you. You're like, there's no way I could marry my cousin. Ilky. Well, in Islam, it's lawful. It's lawful to marry your first cousin. Okay? By the way, most of the prophet's wives were related to him. Most of them were his cousins. They were cousins. Okay? We wouldn't consider that as in our culture. But we can't say it's haram. If somebody does marry their cousin, I can't say it's haram. Okay? So, but that's another example. Don't let your culture cause you to think something that Allah made lawful is not good and clean. Remember, in Islam, our cousins are not even mahrams to us. I may have grew up. Look at Salama and Khalid bin Walid. They were first cousins. Khalid bin Walid was her spar partner. Salama, the wife of the Prophet, was a warrior. She was just as gifted with military strategy as Khalid bin Walid was. That's why the Prophet made her his personal advisor. And after he married Salama, she attended every battle with him. And she served as his war counselor because she was just as skilled in warfare as Khalid bin Walid. They were first cousins, okay? But even though they were first cousins, Khalid bin Walid could not be alone with her. Because Allah says, never can a woman and man be alone together who are not mahrams. That when Khalid bin Walid converted to Islam, the Prophet made him the sword of Allah and made him also his war counselor. And the Prophet would meet with them both. Whenever there was a battle, the Prophet would meet with Salama and Khalid bin Walid both in his tent. and get their suggestions on strategy. So, even though it's lawful, your cousin is your blood relative, it's not lawful to be alone with that person, because that person is someone that you can marry. So we have to remember to not allow culture to cause us to blur the lines in our relationships with each other. Okay? Look at the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Ali was a young boy, the Prophet Muhammad took him in his home to help his uncle out to raise him. And Ali was the same age as Fatima, the Prophet's daughter. When they reached the age of puberty, the Prophet married them to each other. That's how they would handle that first cousin thing back in the time of the Prophet. They would marry them to each other. Okay? So Ali and Fatima played together as children. But when puberty hit, the Prophet married them to each other. And again, the Prophet himself married Zainab. Zainab was his cousin. In fact, Zainab was the Prophet's first cousin too. Okay? So again, guys, within Islamic tradition, we cannot allow the cultural habits of the society that we live in impose upon our religion to the point where we violate Allah's laws. Okay? The Prophet said, beware of the in-law. Here in America, once a woman gets married, her brother-in-law is considered family. But he's still not a mahram to you. Your brother-in-law is lawful in marriage for you. So you cannot be alone in the same place with your brother-in-law. Okay? So you don't allow Western culture to say, well, he's my brother-in-law, so I'm going to take my hijab off. I'm going to hang out with him. We're going to party together. No, we don't do that. This is not Islam. So when it comes to navigating family relationships and marriage, we have to keep the Islamic identity intact when doing that and not fall victim to society's norms or the cultural norms of society. So this is what I wanted to speak about today. A big problem in marriages today is how we blur the lines culturally. We want to adapt the behavior, the lifestyle of the Kafirs, to the point that we lose our Muslim identity. And as a result, we end up with what we are faced with today, a high divorce rate, children being raised without both parents, women having to go to court to make their men pay child support. That's a Kafir thing too. And this is what happens when we take on the cultures other than our own. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Tomorrow, this class was not supposed to be today, so I threw that together. Tomorrow, we're going to finish up this chapter, which is chapter 14. We're going to go into the rights of the husband, the rights of the man. So for you brothers who need to learn what your rights are as a husband, we're going to start going over that tomorrow. So subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Any questions or comments? And by the way, guys, I'm going to cancel the kids class tomorrow because I can tell you guys, I'm not going to wake up. I mean, I went 2 days without any sleep, so I know that there's no way when I do fall asleep, I probably ain't going to fall asleep till 3 or 4 in the morning. But whenever I do, I know I'm not going to wake up until 4 or 5 in the evening because this happens every weekend. So I don't want the kids sitting here waiting on me and I don't show up. So no kids class tomorrow. Okay? And also tomorrow we're changing the time of Mukhtar's class. Mukhtar's class will be at 7:30. So my class will be at 6:30. I'll have an hour. Mukhtar will be at 7:30. And then I'll have my other class at 9:30. Yeah. Are there any questions or comments? Go ahead.
Yeah. That's asked about going to court and paying child support. Now, I know it's the man's job to take care of his children, but I think some of these sisters be wanting the man to take care of them to get, what is it called, alimony or something. That's against Islam too, isn't it?
We don't give out alimony, but most courts don't give it either. They only people that get that, not that even the rich people. Y'all see what happened to Christina on the coast. That third husband she married, he filed for divorce and had the nerve to ask for alimony. They don't usually award alimony to nobody. You know, but the point I was making is you shouldn't have to go to court. That's not Islam. Every Muslim man should know that he's supposed to take care of his children. A woman shouldn't have to take you to court for child support. That's something that the woman, the divorced woman and divorced man should be able to work out without going to court, like I did. When I had my daughter, when I divorced her father, I didn't take him to court. We worked it out. You take care of all her medical expenses. Okay. Give me $1,000 a month for her. Okay. Buy her clothes too. Okay. Buy her her toys. Okay. Pay for her karate. Okay. Pay for the Muslim school. Okay. He took care of her.
What about when they don't?
That's something different. I'm talking about when they do. Because not all men.
I'm talking about, Layla, when they don't.
But that's different.
But I'm talking right there. That would make me feel like I'm just supposed to stay here and suffer and let him just.
No, that's the women that I'm talking to. These sisters right here who sent me these texts. They know.
Okay.
Not everybody has to go to court because not all men are low-life degenerates. My ex-husband wasn't. Latifah's ex-husband wasn't either. Didn't your ex-husband take care of your kids, Tifa?
Mine was. So when they
that's different. When we hear those stories every day. I'm talking to these sisters here who got good exes. We hear about the dogs every day, but not all men are dogs. Y'all get it? You shouldn't. This is Islam. You shouldn't have to go to a kafir court to work out taking care of your children if you a man. You should be able to be man enough and sit down and say, look, these are my kids. I'll take care of my kids. I'll buy their clothes. I'll pay their food. I'll pay their medical expenses. That's the Islamic way. I don't want to hear the sad sob stories because we hear them so much that we got good men who women think they're going to go to court like kafir women. That's cultural. Today's class is about how we allow cultural customs to impede upon Islamic customs. Islamic customs, it's a no deal. The man already know. Take care of your children. Take them with you too if you want. That's what we talking about today. You knucklehead sisters get it? Y'all got to stop trying to be like the kafir women. Because don't even the kafir court don't pay alimony to nobody. Them alimony days are done. But they'll make the man pay for the kid. Okay? But if you got a husband that's going to work this out with you sisters, then forget about the kafir court. You work it out the way Allah said. Y'all understand that? Does that make sense? Y'all got it? What you got to say, Brother Tajri? How many cheering you got, Tajri? You take care of your cheering? Brother Tajri, how many kids you got? 10? How many baby mamas you got? 3? 10 kids and 3 baby mamas. You take care of your cheering, don't you, Tajri? Yeah. Yeah, we hear the bad stories all the time. It's so much that these sisters have got it good, think that they can slide in that door. Girl, please, I got time for this. Wanting to, you want to be half Muslim and half Kafir. Draw the line. Either you Muslim or you ain't. Ain't no half and half, sisters. That's your problem. She's asking me now, what if you think he ain't giving you enough? That's your problem. First of all, he ain't supposed to give you anything. He's supposed to take care of his children, not you. If he's buying their food, he's buying their clothes, he's paying their medical bills, he's paying their babysitting bills, what more do you want? You go get a man. That's what you do. You want some money, you go get married. Go get a man. Find another husband. It's a husband's job to take care of you. But those children, whoever their father is, takes care of them. You got it? That's the problem. You sisters trying to play the system. How old are your children? No. You ain't breastfeeding. This is what I'm talking about. We hear the story about dogs all the time. We hear about the dogs, but not all men are dogs, guys. Don't get it twisted. Y'all sit here. When Dr. Jamali went over that verse, he was talking about a woman who's nursing. Your children are 8 years old. You ain't nursing no 8-year-old kid. No, he don't do nothing for you. He takes care of his children, not you. You better go find a man. Yeah, any other questions? You're welcome, brother. The brother here said, thank you, Sister Layla, because these women think that all men are dogs. We ain't all dogs. Yeah, sisters play the game too. It's a tick for tack. Okay, she's asking about dental. Yeah, all of that stuff is him. If your children need bracelets, they need braces for their teeth, that's his job. He takes care of the medical. He can put your children on his medical insurance. You live in America, sister. He should have your kids on his medical insurance. But you can't sit here thinking he's supposed to take care of you. You better go find another man. Yeah, we got it twisted. The Lord have a mercy. Oh, Lord, help the Muslims. All right, any other questions? What about the Zoom room? Any comments in the Zoom room? By the way, sisters, yeah, make sure that you two come to my classes every day. Yeah, I know that you were sent here today. Every day at 6:30 and 9:30 are my two classes. Make sure you sisters are here. Neither one of you are working. You just said that y'all don't work. So y'all should have no excuse to not come here and learn your deen. And stop trying to get these men to take care of y'all when they don't owe you nothing. Where y'all find these type of men at? I can't find none. See, there's some good brothers out there. Where the good brothers are, why come I can't find them? All right. Yes, tomorrow at 6:30. Well, my class will be at 6:30 tomorrow. That's the book, Know Your Lord, by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid. Yeah, that's Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid's book. And by the way, guys, get the children's version too. Sheikh Kareem has a children's version of Know Your Lord. Please buy it so the children can read their book and follow along with me too. Okay? Yeah, he told you already. Yes, and also Mekhalsid, The Mekositic Tafsir. The Mekositic Tafsir Volume 1 on Amazon. Yeah, the Volume 1, that little light green one. Yes, get that one too. He had told you that one too. Yeah, that one. And Know Your Lord, and the children's version of Know Your Lord. And yeah, and just be here every day at 6:30 so you sisters can learn this deen better. Because once you learn your religion, you won't depend on a man. You will learn to trust and depend on Allah. Once you get a relationship established with your Lord, your confidence will grow. And you can move on with your life. Because it sounds to me like you sisters ain't moved on. Y'all want to be a hindrance to your ex-husbands. I don't know how they put up with you, to be honest. I wouldn't. I take my kids from you and keep it moving. Oh, yeah, I do that, especially you got boys. I take my sons and keep it moving. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Layla's rough. Mm-hmm. If I was Brother Leo, I'd be rough and tough. And I'd have a lot of followers. Brother Leo. Yeah. May Allah bless you too. They said they glad they here. You glad you're here? I got jokes. She said, you got jokes, Sister Layla. Yeah, I got jokes. All right, so I'm going to log out for tonight, guys, because I got jokes and I'm tired. Okay, but I'll be here tomorrow, inshallah. But the kids' class is canceled because I know I ain't going to make it. All right. Okay, sister. So get those books there. Yeah, it takes about 2 or 3 days. Amazon should deliver it. You ordering it now? Yeah, they should deliver it in 2 to 3 days. Okay. All right. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum. There they go, Mina. It's Mina.